The basic rule in political life is if you can't make it at home, you go abroad. And Liz Truss, having failed as Prime Minister after, 49 days, 47 days, has now gone to America to make a speech at the Washington Heritage Foundation. And what a damp squib of a spectacle that was. It was like lighting a torch paper and see the firework fizzle out. Famously, she was the person who said that she was going to oppose the Windsor Framework and everyone was going to tremble. She and Boris and Priti Patel were all going to oppose the Windsor Framework and everyone would quake. And everybody probably did quake for a little while until they opposed the Windsor Framework, and they were one of a handful of people in the Conservative Party to oppose the Windsor Framework. They don't have their finger on the pulse of the nation. They don't have their finger on the pulse of the Conservative Party. And so now Liz Truss is back on the podiums doing what she, quote, does best. I giggle in sustained shock, speaking publicly. This is a person who can barely string a sentence together in public without waving her hands in some sort of puppet-like pastiche of Andy Pandy. She has the grace and charisma of somebody who's been manufactured to appear on Thunderbirds. This is extraordinary. She has the vocal delivery of a Dalek, and that's being kind. So why she would think that it's worth going on the world circuit and doing a lecture tour? Well, of course, she's seen Boris do it and rake in the pounds. But of course, Boris has charisma. Boris has appeal. Boris has practiced his speech. I say his speech because he generally gives the same speech. He just alters a word or two. I've seen him do it. The problem with Liz Truss is she tries to give a variety of speeches and she can't really master any of them. That's why she was so hopeless at the podium outside number 10. That's why she was almost incoherent at the dispatch box in the Commons chamber. This is somebody who is not good in public speaking. This is someone who I think lacks quite a lot of the skills that normally come with political life, that are normally expected of political life. But there we are. Somehow she made it to the top job. She ruined the economy, and she presided over the funeral of the late Queen. And she's going to be wheeled out at the coronation as one of the recent incumbents of number 10. That is about all we can say about her. Except probably there will be parallels between Liz Truss and Mrs. May, though I hope the parallels will go beyond gender. She says that she faced coordinated resistance, not just from inside the Conservative Party or even inside the British corporate establishment. We faced it from the IMF and even President Biden. Last autumn, I had a major setback. Yes, she did. She had to resign from being Prime Minister. That's more than a major setback. That I would call is a minor disaster. And I don't think she's managed to wake up to the fact that she is now a nobody. She wants to blame the woke generation. She wants to blame the woke set, but she's said it herself. We face coordinated resistance from inside the Conservative Party. The reason she resigned from being Prime Minister was because of the Conservative backlash against her ridiculous policies and against Kwasi Kwarteng's enormous package. The two of them, Kwasi can at least write. Kwasi is a remarkably gifted writer. I don't know what Liz Truss thinks she has to offer, but she's the one on the lecture circuit, not Kwasi Kwarteng. Kwasi Kwarteng, not only is he a remarkably gifted writer, not only is he an inspired speaker, he's also a figure of fun. I would have Kwasi Kwarteng speaking to me far more readily than I would have Liz Truss. Why would I remotely want to hear Liz Truss even open a letterbox? No. Do I have to say any more? No, I don't think so.